to Heart, our chat with our cast and crew of When Calls the Heart. I'm from Wiley, Texas. I'm Dawn Bateman, and I have some other admins with me.
Kim McDonald from Ontario, Canada.
Hey Hearties, Jeanette Stevens. I'm from East Lansing, Michigan.
And we have today our featured guest, one of the business gal that gets it done. He portrays the role of Fiona Miller. Kayla Wallace, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for having me.
I love it. I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to, like, you had time. I mean, you guys are busy, so busy. So we're just really pleased. Because it's Fiona, we like round of sarsaparillas for all of us. So there was a question. Well, first of all, we kind of solicit some questions for the Facebook page. We were talking about the sarsaparilla, and we had one question for Julie Davis Williams. Wonders if you've ever tried a real sarsaparilla.
No, I have not. So what they're serving on set is not sarsaparilla. It's like an old, I think it's like Coca-Cola, but in not Coca-Cola, but a different cola brand. So no, I'm not drinking sarsaparilla on set, and I've never tried it. I would like to try it. It sounds like I'd like the flavors. Have you guys ever tried it?
No. You know what? Actually, when I got the question, I had to Google it because I was like, do they really even sell that? And they do. I mean, I was like, oh my word, I didn't know that. I know that they said it was like a modern day root beer.
Yeah, like with a bit of anise, like black licorice flavors, and some spearmint too, apparently.
Oh, really?
But I don't. Ooh. Yeah, it sounds interesting.
That would be an interesting combination.
Yeah, I was saying I just want to at a restaurant sometime order it and see what the response from the service staff is. Oh, what now?
Yeah. Like, sorry, what?
So we're talking about Fiona. Fiona is just, really a lot of confidence, and she gets it done. And that kind of world, that especially in that timeline, that's not really, it's almost like a unicorn for that kind of strength. So we had another question from Dottie Meadows from Texas, wants to know where Fiona gets her confidence to work in a world of male-dominated businesses. And if there's a backstory that you have created, or maybe the writers created it, I don't know, but any information about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely created a backstory. And what's funny about doing that is at any point in time, you can receive an episode and it's like, oh, so I've had 6 brothers. I guess that's part of my backstory now. So all these, like, you can create your own backstory sort of to make sense as with all the information you have. But, we don't have control of what's coming. So any surprises that can pop up, you just have to make it fit. But yeah, I've definitely created somewhat of a backstory. I think Fiona comes from a very conservative family where they wanted her to stick to a woman's role and stay at home. I think she comes from money, and I think she had everything done for her, and she didn't like that. She wanted to make her way in the world and sort of go against everything that she grew up learning. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what the writers had in mind, but I like thinking that she was sort of told to just sit down, stay at home, we have the money, and she wanted to, no, I will go out on my own, I will get a job on my own, and I will work my way up the ladder on my own, and I don't need any of your help. So I think that's something in that world fits well for me as the actress. But who knows, like, it could pop up that she is like I don't know, anything could pop up. So you sort of have to just like roll with the punches.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Fiona goes to San Francisco a lot. So that's the family, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I think the whole journey of Fiona um, as a character that is a young businesswoman, that is something that is, and it really translates here at this point in our timeline. So,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. A woman making big strides like that back in 1919, it was almost unheard of. So I mean, women did start to work, but in a man's world like that, I think it was not very common at all. So that's my favorite part about playing her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are on screen with a lot of gentlemen too. I mean, you don't have, I mean, a lot of our leading ladies don't have that opportunity with, a lot of men. So how is it for you on set as you have all those castmates that are in the male dominated world?
Yeah. I mean, everybody is so lovely. I think that's well known that every castmate is just a lovely human being. So we're lucky that we get to go to set and work with everyone's just so friendly. So there's never any intimidation, but once, you're sort of like filming the scene that I had at the beginning of this season, where I think it was Fiona, Henry, Lucas, Hickam, and Gowan. I remember walking on set that day, and that was one of my first scenes with all the guys. And
really?
I felt a little bit of that feeling that a woman would feel stepping into a man's world, because so far I'd had one-on-one scenes, but like walking into a group of guys, that's just a different feeling but I mean, it was so lovely. Everyone's so great to work with. So
yeah, that's great.
Our hearts really went out to Fiona when she lost her job with the telephone company. And Julie Chatham-Weddle from Memphis wonders if you've ever faced a moment in life similar to Fiona's when she told off the big boss at the phone company. She wonders if you're as brave and outspoken in real life as Fiona is.
I've worked many jobs in my life, many restaurants and many odd jobs, as you do before you are able to support yourself. But along the path somewhere, I won't say where or when, I did have to stand up for myself in a way similar to that. And that doesn't come as easy for me as it does for Fiona. I don't like confrontations. So yeah, it's tough, but I think it's important. And I think I was inspired by Fiona probably back in the day to stand up for myself.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Do you have a favorite Fiona moment from this season? Something that was really fun or challenging to play that you can share with us yet?
There's a storyline coming up that I can't say, but it was, I think, one of the most interesting things for me to play on the show thus far. So I can't really say what's coming up, but you guys will know in a few weeks.
All right.
I'm excited.
Stay tuned. I know every time we do one of these, there's so much that we can tell you guys want to share, but you just can't yet.
I know.
Shifting gear a little bit, we always love to talk about the costumes and how talented Barbara is. And Fiona has had so many great looks over the seasons you've been on. We have a Hearty Holly Ridnour from Iowa. She says she loves your costumes and wonders if you have a favorite so far. You have a lot to choose from for Fiona.
Barbara just does an amazing job in general, but I think I have a pretty cool wardrobe. So I have a couple favorites. I have like my comfy skirt that, like, if I've had too much for lunch, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to wear that one after lunch because it's got some stretch to it. I have, and then I love her suits, like the matching sets. I think that's so much fun. I think what my favorite, I had a shirt a couple seasons ago. I don't remember if I wore it this season, but I had like these big lampshade sleeves. It was like 3 tiers of lampshade. That's how I can describe it. That was a really cool shirt. And then I think, my number one skirt, it's like a dark purple skirt that I have, and it's almost like a muted eggplant purple. I wear it this season quite a bit. And it's something about, I think purple's my favorite color, so that's probably why I like it.
I loved the blouse that you were wearing when you ordered the sarsaparilla. That was super cute.
Oh,
With
yeah.
the white with the blue details. That was beautiful.
That's one of my favorites too. I like the shorter sleeve for a change, because sometimes it can get super hot depending what time we're filming, what time of year we're filming.
Yeah, you guys had some heat up there this past summer.
Yes.
So
Yes, we did.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about the plaid pants situation that Fiona got to rock? Those were great.
So much fun. So much fun. I love wearing pants. It's like you feel like you're free all of a sudden. Like I can kick and I can I can step over things, because the skirts are kind of restrictive. Some of them especially are like kind of tighter at the ankles, so you kind of have to like shuffle along. But it's fun to wear pants, and it was fun to wear them like walking into that scene with all the guys too.
It's been fun to see the fashion evolve over even in just the 3 seasons that you've been there. It's going on 4 now, but Barbara's had to like shorten everybody's skirts as time has gone on.
I talked to Barbara. We were talking about your shoes, and she said there's a story about those shoes. So we were gonna be wrapping with her at the end of the season, just because there's so many things that she did this season. But those shoes that I think you had it the first time you arrived.
Yeah, I did. When I stepped off the stagecoach, I was wearing those shoes. Have been with me for years. They're my comfiest pair, I think.
Oh, really?
Because they're so broken in. At this point. But I get comments on like all the crew. They comment on my shoes, like almost like they're seeing them for the first time. Like they're like, I love those shoes. And I'm like, I've been wearing them for 4 years, but thank you.
They're so cute. They're so cute.
I get compliments like every single day almost when I'm wearing them on set. Just someone who hasn't laid eyes on them yet, I guess.
Sure. Well,
they're
did
cool.
you do a picture? I think it was, you had a director's chair, and then you had the shoes on it.
Yeah.
I love that picture. Oh my goodness, that was good.
Yeah, those shoes, like every fitting that I've had, like, because you do the fitting a month before the season starts, so every time I go to my fitting and then Barbara hands me the shoes, I'm like, oh yeah, here's Fiona. I'm stepping back into her.
I love that you're saying, here's Fiona.
Yeah, there she is. Took a little break from her.
I love it.
Well, and every Heartie can relate to the love for shoes. So I love that the shoes are becoming like Fiona's signature, a Fiona classic, or she's known for her shoes. That's so good.
And the boots, those black boots I have this year. I want those. I would wear those.
Was that the boots that you had when you had the motorcycle?
Yeah, those.
It was season 8 too, right? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. I love that look.
They're great boots.
Oh,
I'm hoping one day I can take them.
Yeah, exactly. Put your name in, like, these are going with me when the show ends.
That's
right.
Season 21, yes.
Right, yeah, exactly. Wait on the road.
Can you imagine? 10 years from now.
They're all worn out. Nope. Oh, so fun. Well, we love all the friendships that have evolved since you've been in Hope Valley too. And we have a Heartie, Mary Jean Stolansky from South Texas, says she would love to have a best friend like Fiona. I love that.
Aw, that's so nice.
And she wants to know, who is Fiona's bestie? She asked if
Oh.
it was Faith or if it was Mike Hickam, because they've become good friends. So
I
or
mean,
if it's somebody else. I don't know.
that's such a tough pick. I think that it's probably a tie at this point. I mean, she's had so many close bonds over the seasons. I think in this season, it's probably a tie between Faith and Hickam. Yeah.
Well, and she's definitely Hickam's biggest cheerleader. So that's what
Yeah.
everybody
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what everybody wants in a best friend, someone who's going to have your back and be on your side all the time. So that's
Yeah.
really cool.
I am Hickam's hype woman. I will always cheer him on.
So we're talking about like Fiona you have a lot of great scene partners and you are everywhere. I mean, saloon, it's infirmary now, the oil area, I don't know. Have you been in the schoolhouse at all for the Fiona
No.
character? Okay, so all of the people that you've worked with, who would you, like with all of your castmates, who have you learned the most with for the When Calls a Heart cast?
That's such a tricky question because we have so many talented cast members, but I mean, I always love working with Loretta. I find that she's such an inspiring person to watch on set because she is so devoted and so dedicated, that it's really a joy to watch her work and to see how she puts herself into Florence and the care that she has for Florence and yeah, the personal relationship she has with her character. I find it really inspiring. So I'll say Loretta.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's great. I love her. I mean, when we first met at HFR1, her accent, I was like, "Huh,
Yeah.
what's that?"
Oh
That
yeah.
was so
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. So, but she's so lovely. So lovely. She
She
just
really
really is just personable. And
Yeah.
we love her.
Yes, me too. I need some more Florence and Fiona scenes.
It's great.
Yeah, especially now that Fiona's moved on from the switchboard. You don't get as
I
quite as much.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I miss that little switchboard.
But it's so fitting for Florence. So cute. So I think there was an interview that you had, or maybe it was Kevin, talking about the Feeling Butterflies. You did the movie with Kevin, and Kevin was talking about your process, and he said it was, not like his. So what's the difference? And what about, how do you prepare for a role, or even with Fiona?
Yeah, I mean, I think him and I are very different in the way that we like our backgrounds are very different. I grew up in dance, and dance was my first thing as a kid. So I learned how to practice a routine and then perform it. So I tend to rehearse things in a certain way, and which can be great. But what I find so great about Kevin and the way he works is he is so awesome at being in the moment and taking whatever the other person's giving him in the moment. So that's where we kind of differ, and where I learned a lot from him working with him too. I got to watch him like throw things at me that that sort of like mess up your plan, because you have to plan, and then once you get on set you just have to forget about your plan. And as someone with like a dance rehearsing background, I over the years have had to sort of let that go. Like I'll look back at my first season as Fiona, and it's like I remember rehearsing the lines and saying them almost in the same rhythm as I was rehearsing them, I would say them like that on set when we were filming. So, I mean, that's great, but I think that it's more fun when you're ready to change it up and anything can come at you. So it makes it more exciting. So I think that's where Kevin was saying that our process is different. I also am like a crazy note taker, and like, I don't so much do this anymore because I have an iPad to save paper, but I used to get like little Post-it thingies, and I would mark every single scene. So my script would have like little tiny Post-its everywhere, and then highlighted for certain days that I was filming. It was very like organized in that way, but now I have an iPad that saves a lot of trees. So yeah.
Are you organized in your life, in your normal life? I mean, do you
Gosh,
you have
no.
files and,
No, not at all. I really like, I think that that's where all of my organizing blood goes to because I have like for my taxes, my receipts are just like all over the place in different boxes and bags. And, yeah.
You and me.
Mine are all in
Yeah.
one spot, but it doesn't mean they're done.
That's right. Yeah.
Can I go back for a second? I always love talking to the actors over the years, whenever you talk about that being present, right? And how some people can do it so well. And so, is that something that actors just have or they don't? Or is it something you can learn? I always think it's so interesting how people talk about certain actors can really be there in the moment and some have a harder time getting there. It's really interesting.
I think it's different for everybody. I think that some people naturally can sort of put themselves in a situation and be in that world, whatever the world is, whatever show that you're on. I do think that it's definitely harder to like take whatever the other actor is giving you when you have something so rehearsed, like I'm going to say it this way. And because then if you think about it, like if you were walking into any conversation and you were like, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to say hello, and then they're going to say hi, and then I'm going to say, how are you? And they're going to say good. And then you walk in and you say hello, and they're like, see ya. Like you just, that's sort of that's the difference. And you have to plan for like anything to happen, even though there is like a script and words and stuff. It's such a weird thing we do, but like trying to forget everything that you've learned and be in the moment. But I do think it comes naturally for some people,
and probably the longer you do it, it gets a little easier as time goes on too. With experience.
And some people like to work like that too. There's some people like to have everything so planned out. I know like a lot of big feature films, like the ones that we see in the theaters, everything will be so like they'll work on a moment. They'll do like 15 takes of a moment just so they can get it right of what they want. So that's a whole different situation. But we're working kind of fast on When Calls the Heart. Like we have a lot to get done in a day. So you kind of have to be on your toes.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm thinking about your script. I mean, do you get it like a long time before you're filming, or do you just get it, in the moment and you're on set, 2 or 3 days? What's the process with When Calls the Heart?
It depends. It changes. We've had times where there's been like rewrites up until the day before. And that has to do with like a bunch of different things. That could be like, let's say they were writing a storyline and then one of the actors like dropped out or something, or they couldn't, or they had to recast. So then they have to reshift everything to make it work. So there's a lot that goes into it. Like I give any writer all the credit because you're just sort of having to make everybody's schedule work and everybody's all the characters' schedules and timing and everything working. So sometimes you get weeks, sometimes you get days, and sometimes you get hours, and sometimes minutes. So whatever is
Yeah.
whatever. But you usually on our show, usually we'll have it like the week, I would say, before.
Oh,
It's
okay.
probably average, but it or 2 weeks if like we're just getting started. So
Sure.
yeah, it really depends.
Huh.
Yeah.
When we've had family, the Hearties family reunions in Vancouver, a lot of Hearties have taken side trips over to Victoria, where you're from. Well, you're
Yeah.
on the island, right? And they love going to the gardens, especially the Bouchard Gardens, so which must be beautiful right now. What do you miss most about being Victoria, I guess, in the springtime?
Yeah, Victoria is beautiful in the spring. It's not far from Vancouver, so it's a ferry ride away. What I miss most would be my family. My family's over on Vancouver Island. But Victoria, yeah, downtown Victoria is so beautiful, and I love spending time there. But I gotta say, my family.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
I've stayed at the Empress Hotel there once, so that was pretty neat. But yeah, so I love downtown Victoria. That's good.
Yeah, that's such a cool hotel. We did high tea there last year.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun. Oh my gosh.
If we ever have another Hearties family reunion, we should have you give us like a list of your top 5 spots in Victoria to go. You'd be a great
yeah,
resource for
Absolutely.
that.
Of course. Of
For
course.
sure.
It'll all be food places because that's my favorite. Food or coffee.
That works.
That's fun. So
I'm in.
Bouchard Gardens not on the list.
Yeah,
Just
no.
The Hearties also love hearing you sing on Instagram. And Elizabeth Kratz from Northern Virginia said one of her dreams would be to see you and Aaron Krakos sing together on When Calls the Heart. Should we have a season 10? Could Fiona add musicality to her list of talents?
Wow. I mean, she's got so much on the go. Throw it in. Why not? I don't know if that sort of fits her character.
Right.
Like I picture her more of like a left brain than a right brain. I think she's very street smart and business smart, and I don't know if she would find that like productive. So you know what I mean? I think she's so motivated with her career that I don't know if like a musical like coffee shop situation would be in her character's wheelhouse, but let's just like pretend for a second that it was. That would be so much fun, especially with Erin. She's such a beautiful voice.
I could see Fiona maybe playing the drums in the Hope Valley Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to picture her making oil deals during the day and then hitting the coffee house.
Yeah. I think she'd do like karaoke at the saloon. She'd definitely do that.
Yeah.
Sarsaparilla.
With her sarsaparilla and break out the darts. I think darts were one of the first things she was doing when she came to town. So.
That's right.
Well, thanks so much for chatting with us today, Kayla. It's been so lovely, and we appreciate any time that Cass takes for us. So thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday or gosh.
We lost track too.
We don't know.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Well, and we just hit the halfway point of the season, so I think we're all excited to see what's ahead for Fiona and what kind of deals she'll be making and what else Hope Valley has or for her.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And this
I can't wait for you guys to see what's
coming up.
Really? Oh, there's so many people are like, yeah, just wait. I'm like, just a morsel, just a nugget.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Hearties, thanks for being here too, and we will see you this Sunday. Of course, we're at 8/7 Central on Hallmark Channel, And be sure to join us on Twitter, of course, using the hashtag Hearties. We'll see you
Yeah,
then.
thank you so much, Hearties, for all of your support and all of your tweeting and Instagramming and all that you do. So, mwah.